So it's become kind of a tradition with, I guess, Star Wars, Simpsons, a couple other shows. Obviously when the seasons happen, you have, I guess, like Valentine's Day, Easter, 4th of July, summertime, really. If you have Thanksgiving, mostly Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, those episodes, they tend to do some type of special stuff going on for that. So, like with Simpsons, you have the Treehouse of Horrors, stuff like that. And with Star Wars, at least on Disney Plus, you have the Lego Star Wars series or movies or specials, if you want to call them. And they do they had a Christmas special last year, and now we have a Terrifying Tales. So, how terrifying is Star Wars? Let's get to that. So, I want to give them kudos for trying to play on the pop culture, horror, Halloween staples. There's a tons of references they have in there. I'm sure I missed some, but there's obviously some Tales from the Crypt action going on with as far as Vinay, who I didn't even know who Vinay was. I had to totally refresh my memory. And he's a character from Rogue One, and he's canon in the Star Wars universe, but not a character that comes to mind right off the bat. So when we had this character pretty much being our crypt taker or narrator of all these stories, I was like, who is this guy? He does this maniacal laugh, and I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, so I can't take him seriously. Anyway, so we obviously have him doing some type of Tales of the Crypt action as far as telling his stories. We have some references to the Lost Boys, which some of these references I don't know if kids are actually going to understand. I know this is for kids, but adults like myself, Star Wars fans, are actually going to watch this, so maybe it's more for them. But the Lost Boys one was probably my favorite one with the Kylo Ren, and obviously Kiefer Sutherland and all that kind of stuff going on. So there was that reference. There was a monkey's paw, which that was cool. There was the Are You Afraid of the Dark? Just a slight reference, the way Vinay says, for your approval, is of the such and such a society, which they didn't say that part because that's Are You Afraid of the Dark, but that's something they say in Are You Afraid of the Dark. And then there's a reference to The Shining, and there's also like zombie clones, there's stuff like that. So I like that they kind of try to find different aspects to make it seem more spooky and more Halloween-like. So let's talk about the tales. So there weren't so much terrifying and spooky as they were more of just like lessons learned in the Star Wars universe, right? I wish they could have made it more Halloween themed. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the stories, like I said, the Lost Boys, play on that was cool, but they didn't really do anything that was spooky or terrifying as much as just try to mimic some scenes from the movie. So I can appreciate that on one sense, but then on the other sense, I'm like, why can't we go there just a little bit? When the What If series, the Marvel What If, we had the zombie episode, and it was kind of spooky and terrifying because you didn't want your heroes to get bit, right? Oh, you don't want to get bit and turn into a zombie. Well, still kind of cool though. So I was kind of hoping maybe we would kind of go to that, go there just a little bit with that. Now I understand this is for kids. I know this is for kids, so they probably can't go there or don't want to go there because it's also on Disney Plus. But the Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors, you got that kind of stuff going on, and you can kind of go there. You don't have to show blood or anything, but you can kind of go there. I mean, with the Legos, it's funny because your head could get decapitated, your feet could get cut off, which is really just your body. I mean, stuff like that can pop off, and it still be kind of cool, right? So it doesn't have to be gruesome, and it's not terrifying. I mean, in that sense, I mean, like, they could have gone there in that way with the Legos and tried to use like a head pop off or something like that. I mean, they kind of did it with Darth Maul, but in a way that's more a horror movie way, like if someone got their head slashed off or something like that. You know what I mean? Something like that. I feel like if they could have gone there, it might have been just a little bit better. Given that it was more of like trying to, of course, tell stories that have already happened in the Star Wars universe, but kind of give you more of an explanation in a Halloween-like way, sort of, or a terrifying way. I think if they were going to go for the lessons overall, they still could have done that. It kind of reminded me more of like the Halloween Tree. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie or not. It was on Cartoon Network. But it was kind of a movie that was kind of set during Halloween times, but was trying to tell a message overall. And I really liked that movie, and I watched it as a kid, and I still kind of watch it every now and then. It's kind of like a Halloween, ritual. I think what they could have done is, like the Christmas special was an adventure that took place during Christmas, and they had to learn a lesson along the way, mostly Ray. And I feel like they could have done that same kind of storyline with this special, while we did kind of have an overall theme as far as, the former castle of Darth Vader now being turned into a hotel or resort, and having, the younger character, finding his way, or, surprising everyone with what he can do, stuff like that. You could have some of that stuff still happen, but I think you could have like a more overarching adventure that was more cohesive. And during those things, have the characters be put in situations that require them to interact with characters maybe that we've never seen in the Star Wars universe before, that could actually be scary and spooky. I mean, you kind of already set the stage when we get up to the castle and you have all these kind of this dark forest, it's creepy and foggy and you don't want to get left alone. Why not just kind of build upon that and have maybe characters that we've not seen? You could have kept the Vinay character, but, not so much tell tales as far as maybe have him throw other characters in the hero's way that would have made it spooky and scary. I don't know, just a thought. It was fun and enjoyable overall. I did have a good time watching it. It just, to me, wasn't really scary. I'm not expecting it to be like Halloween Kills scary. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not expecting blood and gore. But, I was expecting more than just like jump scares. Like, there was a couple of times where the Hut guy was, constantly sneaking up on Poe and scaring him. So like, I was like, we could have done better than stuff than that. But overall, I did have fun. Like I said, I know it's made for kids. It's not made for adults, even though mostly I think adults will watch it, because I don't think kids will really understand for the most part. They might just enjoy the characters overall. So I think it's still a win-win, but just could have been a little bit scarier. Now, in saying that, the whole time I was watching this, like I said, I did enjoy watching it, and I thought to myself, why haven't we not gotten a Lego Star Wars series? Now, I know we've had a bunch of specials, and there's been a ton of stuff they've done in the past, but I think currently, with them cranking out Marvel content, we had Star Wars Visions, which I think was semi-successful, I think. I know we have live-action shows. We just had the Bad Batch finish. Why not have Lego Star Wars kind of fill in the gap and that be for a demographic that could be an overarching reach that a lot of people can watch? I know Star Wars Bad Batch seems like it's for kids, but I think it's made mostly for like older kids and maybe even adults, maybe. I think with like Lego Star Wars, it's fun for all, right? So I think you can make it to where, we had like the Skywalker Saga game coming out, like the whole collection. So I think this has been the perfect time to have, I know the specials coming out, but like a Star Wars series based with the Lego Star Wars, and maybe tell stories that we haven't seen or heard before, or, incorporate those as side missions into the story of the arcs of characters that we've already heard of. They could have done much things, but I think Lego Star Wars is definitely a subset in the franchise that they haven't fully tapped into yet, and I feel like that could be something that could be a good feather in their cap. So they do lead, as far as like just a slight spoiler, at the end of the special, they do kind of tease that we could see possibly a Terrifying Tales 2. I would love to see this continue on. It's kind of like a yearly special, like the Treehouse of Horrors from The Simpsons. I think if they do go that route, maybe the next time they could do things that are a little bit more scarier, spookier. Maybe they kind of go there a little bit. Maybe they hear this from more than just me and they take notes. Who knows? But we do have the potential to see this again, and I really hope that we do. So if I had to give a rating for Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales, I give it 3.5 out of 5. I did enjoy it overall. Like I said, I know it's made for kids, and I know I'm an adult watching it, but I just wanted it to be just a little bit more spooky and terrifying. I just recently watched Scooby-Doo Meets Courage, Cowardly Dog, and I think if they'd gone more of like the Scooby-Doo route, because like you can go there. Like I remember watching Scooby-Doo movies of old, that like the one on Zombie Island and stuff like that. Like there was a true kind of Halloween type story, and the Scooby-Doo characters just happened to be there and interact with them. I think they could have done it like that with Star Wars. So maybe next time they'll do that, and I think I'll enjoy it more. But I did enjoy it, and I did enjoy them learning the lessons and all that kind of stuff, and it, give backstories, somewhat backstories to Star Wars characters. But yeah, that's my score, 3.5 out of 5. If you've seen Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales, let me know your thoughts down below. If you agree with my review, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And that's it for this video, guys. Make sure that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.